I think that's why I got a little upset when people get lazy or they have no goals in life, because what are you doing to achieve your goals or your actual mission of being on earth? Like, you are given the privilege to live a few years on this earth, and people before you have taken advantage of that. People after you will, but what will you do at that time? And if everyone who is lazy in the world did something, we would advance so much faster than what is currently being done. Like, imagine if you took all the lazy people, put them in a room, and let them be creative and do things and work on things. How much more we would get done?
I think like this group of people that you're talking about, I feel like maybe they just haven't found their calling. Maybe they just haven't found what they're good at. So I think maybe they just like will stay in that state of comfort and stay in that state of, well, this is what works for me right now. And then they won't explore beyond what works for them. You know what I mean?
So
I
like
think it's about a lack of encouragement in
so
some
they're
cases.
so they're content with where they are in life, and they're not like actively pursuing like that mission, because either they may be on it or they think it's too hard.
Mm.
And I think things get hard and then people pull out so fast. Like, isn't that like the whole point?
Yeah.
Like you
Imma tell you what, Imma tell you what, like, you know that, like, I've started to learn Arabic, like,
Yeah.
since this pandemic started. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard.
Mhm.
It's really hard because you have to, like, because like, you know me, I speak English and Spanish fluently, but, Arabic, like, it's a completely different alphabet. There's different sounds, there's different, pronunciations that I wouldn't do in Spanish. So, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, is it hard? 100%, but, like, I can't explain to you how rewarding it feels when I can look at a word and then I can figure out what letters are in that word. Like, I look at it, I'm like, "Wow, I just read that." I feel like I can't even explain the dopamine that just like surges through me when I'm like, yes, that's in Arabic. Yes, I read it. Like I just be feeling so proud of myself. But that's a different story.
No, I totally agree. And it's like that instant reward of knowing whether you're right or wrong, and every second that you put into it paid off. Um it like really fuels you to like continue. And
Yeah.
it's that's why it's so fun to like learn new things, because there's that learning curve, and then eventually you hit a point in that learning curve where it gets less fun, but you still have to continue to learn. And I feel like that's when people like either stop or take it to the next level, because um eventually you have to put more work than actual like, I think in economics we call it like you like utility, like how much happiness something gives
Mhm, mhm.
over time if you continue to consume it. So
The
initially you get,
utility principle.
yeah, and so you get really happy at first. So like let's
Come
say
on now.
I started this podcast. Right now it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of work, but I'm having a lot of fun. But like later on, more things may come up, or the podcast might get harder. It might be more upper scaled. Will I be willing to take the next step, or will you be willing to take the next step in learning Arabic in that in like that respect, that once you learn all the words you need to learn, you learn the alphabet, you learn um taking the next step of like talking to someone in person, or
Mhm.
carrying out a whole conversation, or writing things out without looking at your notes. That's really hard, and, I know you can do it, but, like, a lot of other people would be like, "I'm just gonna stop," and, like, I think that's the issue with, like, a school system too, like, there's only so much people like, teachers and, like, the school system can do if the student just gives up during, like, a class. Like, during the middle of the year, like, in the beginning, everyone's so excited to learn. It's a new year, it's everyone new friends, and then during the middle, like, in the beginning, I get all my school supplies. I'm really happy, and I wanna learn, and I do learn, and eventually, it gets harder and harder and harder, and then I topple and I level out. I'm content where I am, and I'm content with getting, like, a C or a B or whatever the grade may be, because it's so harder now, and I find the easiest way out. And so, I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, are we willing to take the next step regardless of how hard the situation is? And have you ever, like, faced any, like, type of situation where you were faced with that decision?
Like the decision to keep going the hard way or
Yeah, you
to
have to
stay
take the
where I
next
am.
step. Like, you like, it's basically like, have you watched Dragon Ball Z? Like, you gotta go Super Saiyan? Like, you gotta take the
Watched
next step.
Yu-Gi-Oh! With this little boy I used to babysit. That 10 out of 10. If you haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Like start to finish, recommend.
So when Yugi
But
has to go to the next level, take its other form and, like, battle, that's, like, the next step you have to take. In life, when you took the next step, how did you feel? Like, were
it's
you scared?
scary. Of
Scared.
course it's scary because change in itself is scary. Because we're used to what we're doing. We're used to our immediate environment right now. And then when we have to think about, well, this immediate environment is temporary. One day this is going to change and I'm going to have to do something else. That's really scary because you get comfortable where you are. But the thing is that you can't have change without discomfort, right? You won't grow without a level of discomfort, right? Like a seed. A seed will not grow if it doesn't push and like make way out of the soil to come up and see the sun, right?
Mhm.
The point is that you keep working out of the soil, out of the rocks, out of the dirt to see the sun so that you can see the fruits of your labor that you so desperately want to see.
Exactly,
That's what
and
I think.
I agree, and, I think people who are nervous about things are, like, the ones that actually care about the situation.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're not nervous, that means I feel like you don't care or you're just, like, overly confident about the situation. And being nervous, I think, is normal, and being scared, like, if you have any type of emotion towards the situation, in some respect, like, you really, like, care about that topic, and,
Mhm.
whether you feel happy, sad, and so you learn, like, Arabic, and you're starting like, you're really good you've been dancing when you were, like, St. John's, like, for the past few years, and so why do you take on, like, these, hard, like, goals? Like, people, like, learning new languages, learning how to dance, um, it's really hard, and so what motivated you to, like, learn these things?
I think it's just who I am as a person. Like I've always very much enjoyed like creativity and the arts. And then I find like I don't know, like Arabic, I just find it's like such a pretty language because like I've learned that like in writing and practicing writing, like how each letter is connected to the next one that follows. And this here, because it's in script, is it's supposed to represent the A and the L. So you see how like this letter just connected into the next one?
Mhm.
I find that so beautiful. And like I think I think there's like so many like beautiful things about different cultures that a lot of people don't know about it because they don't actively seek out to learn. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's just so many beautiful things about so many different cultures that you can learn. and you can respect them and you can learn more about them and you can teach them to other people so that you share this knowledge with everyone around you. And I think that's beautiful.
I agree. Like it's rewarding learning about a new like culture that you never knew about, and like when you go visit that country, people just don't assume that we have to compromise and like know the language that you're from, like what other country you're
Yeah,
from. Like we have to know what English is if I go to like um if I go to the UAE and I would say I would go there and they would have to speak English. Like they have to conform to what I doing. But instead um I took some time out to learn your language because I really want to respect and like show like, oh, I took the
exactly.
time to learn and I want to like get better at it. And I don't want to compromise your situation and make you like conform to me. And so I think that's like a beautiful thing about like this learning new things, especially when you're not from that region or you're not from that part of the world. Like it's hard, but it's really rewarding when you do like learn it.